Tips have started. Tips going out to Ramses. Like both sides saying good luck, have fun. So a bit of good sportsmanship here. I'm sure there's not too much bad blood here between these two teams. It's an immediate smoke up from 9 Pandas, heading towards the bottom side of the map. Might actually run into some heroes they could go after. Seb does have Tether though, so can get away from this scenario as they will disrupt him up. But Tether is there. He's fine. Naturally it is Seb, so we're going to expect a few voice lines to come out every time he does do that.
Yeah, as is natural for OG. I'm wondering, well, since 9 Pandas did reply to the all chat, I'm pretty sure they didn't mute them. That's interesting. I know a lot of teams mute OG.
That's a good point. They haven't muted them yet, Jonathan. They haven't muted them yet.
Sooner rather than later, Mike, for sure.
Absolutely. Well, it depends if you're winning, though. If you're winning and the enemy team's just spamming voice lines, you're happy. You know they're getting desperate. That's the way I see it.
Do you remember a time we had a pause in a game? This was the old OG. We had a pause and they were like, "We can't read all chat. Please tell us when it's go."
Oh, the good old days. Bounty rune's up. It's looking like it's going to be a 2. No, it is going to be a 2-for-2 trade. Very even start between these two teams. It's like Seb's actually going to go for a bit of a chase onto Miero. Miero does have his Antares on the Shadow Demon right behind him in case he needs it, but it is an IO. He's going to be just fine. And while we're around here, John, we may as well begin with the bottom lane. Of course, Seb and Uragi going to be up against Antares and Miero. The Doom Shadow Demon lane against the IO Bloodseeker. I want to say he's going to be quite a passive kind of farming lane between these two heroes. But what do you think?
Definitely is a lot more passive. I think if you had the Snapfire, this would be a lot more aggressive, but you're just securing Uragi's farm, giving him some bonus attack speed to play with, giving him some bonus HP regen to not be too scared of the threat of Scorched Earth. You do have good setup here on 9 Pandas, especially if you get the War Stomp creep down line from here. So I understand why Seb opts to be down here instead. You just want farm the Bloodseeker, not necessarily kills. As long as you get to build up into your Phase Boots, into your Maelstrom, you're pretty happy. Even if Miero finds farm, although you have to respect the right click coming out from Antares. Chases down Seb quite nicely here.
With that mid lane, of course, you're going to have BZM and Kiyotaka going at it. BZM actually taking a hell of a lot of harassment as we are actually watching a pull from Tiger. Tiger doing the long wraparound with this creep pull is eventually going to be able to escape the grasp of Solo. And another pull now coming out from DM as they just don't want to directly lane against the Undying. Smart maneuver here from OG. One way of dealing with the Undying just being too powerful of a support to have to lane against as a Spirit Breaker. And naturally, Tiger can't help much either because he's a strength hero on the snap. Like, no, never mind.
No,
he's a universal hero now. I did forget.
Oh, Mikey, you forget why Sammy picked the safe lane. The genius that is Sammy, boy, of course. Realizing universal type, I can play it carry. Still, not in this game. And again, they're trading back and forth. Very interesting situations for the creep waves, but I'm more than happy to just farm up here for Ramses for sure. But you have to be a little bit careful for Solo.
They are trying onto him. The problem is he has 12th strength stolen right now. So, pretty tanky. About 1k HP on Solo. Is not going to die and has 4 mangoes to spam, 2 blood grenades just in case he needs it. To even stick around trying to abuse DM as Antares bottom lane finding first blood. Seb getting caught out on the IO is going to go down, and Antares have a nice little boost for himself in the net worth department.
Yeah, we've seen Antares, of course, just keep chasing down Seb. They get the Devourer up with the Scorched Earth along with the Ice Armor. It does make it a lot easier to just keep that chase onto the IO. Yeah, and this lane for the side of OG much more defensive. Once the side of 9 Pandas decides to play pretty aggressive, all you can do is really just try to run. No real play here until the levels start wrapping up. So good read from 9 Pandas to stay on the offensive there. The mid lane is one that we haven't really taken a peek at yet. Kiyotaka is completely stomping this, which is, I suppose, to be expected. The Storm doesn't have the counterplay to dodge out the Splinter Blast as much. He has to walk in very close to use the Remnant and Overload. So Kiyotaka does just have the easier time harassing in. And this should lead to that early timing that you'd want on the Winter Wyvern that we don't tend to see. Storm matchup probably one of the more favorable ones for the mid Winter Wyvern.
Absolutely. Very quiet across the map. Just a 1k advantage the way of 9 Pandas. 1 kill going the way of the Dire as well. We saw a bit of a charge from DM top lane, but Solo does just kind of posture aggressively and force him away. You mentioned BZM struggling against the Winter Wyvern. He's going to go for a Vortex now on Kiyotaka, but Splinter Blast is going to come out and BZM just going to cop more harassment than he did to Kiyotaka. Water Rune's going to spawn up though, so bottle refill is going to be there by BZM. It's like Antara is going to be around to ensure that Kiyotaka does get the other one. Though he doesn't have a bottle himself, but he may as well just ensure that BZM won't have another bottle refill. Top lane, Solo's being charged here by DM. But Solo, he does have 8 strength stolen, so he's going to be just fine. Uragi, though, in the meantime, does lose a courier. His Blades of Attack going to be down for a minute and a half now.
A nice little snipe there from the side of Pandas. At least just slowing down a little bit down south. Again, pretty stable start for both sides. You can't really play aggressive too badly on the side of top lane. I guess the lane that can still run down is down bot, depending on what Miara does find on his Devourer. For now, it has just went back to farming. So overall, you're kind of happy with the lane setups. You are finding a little bit more farm out overall for 9 Pandas. Though you are pulling ahead on Uragi.
Top lane, Solo. Ooh, Shackle's going to be nice from Ramsey. He's setting up on Tiger. Blood Grenade will land. Tiger has no way of getting out, but a nice juke on the power shot. Solo trying to dive here, but this might cost him. He does get the kill first. And in fact, the de-aggro on the tower. Oof. Beautiful plays here from Solo. Tiger almost making it out, but sadly not quite.
I almost thought that dive was a little bit silly, but he did just barely get the mana for the last piece of decay. And to find the kill, quite the commitment, giving DM a lot of space to just farm up in the lane, safely getting some solo EXP. So you don't mind that too much on the side of OG either. You're still finding something to gain off the back of that, and you also managed to give BZM a bottle refill mid. Solo shows up mid as well, though, looking like they want to scuffle over those 6-minute power runes.
Hold on, it's so important for this Storm to be able to pick a good rune up. Kiyotaka doesn't care quite as much, but he just wants to deny it away from BZM if he can. Seb gonna show up at the bottom side. Now BZM actually being targeted. He's 1 creep away from level 6 at the moment, but there's no creeps around for him to target, so Kiyotaka gonna move in. Seb even helping Kiyotaka out with that tether. Tips out immediately from the mid-wyvern as Seb actually added on to the damage output against the Storm, and now Tiger also gonna be in trouble. Solo will take him down. A terrible series of events here for OG in the mid lane.
Yeah, just not managing to find the angles that they'd want. Kiyotaka hit 6 a little bit faster, as you mentioned, on the edge there for BZM, but the curse comes in. Seb wants to help. Seb ends up helping find that kill for 9 Pandas, and all this movement across the map has been favoring 9 Pandas. Again, one lane that's kind of paying off for OG right now is Uragi's lane, which is to be expected for the Bloodseeker into the Doom. But even then, you know, you're still finding your stable build-up for Miero, Vanguard up, Midas next. Chasing around here for the 7-minute rune as well.
Nice cooking from Tiger. Gonna be able to take the Wisdom rune away from Solo, and the immediate charge is out from DM. Solo, he's a tanky boy though. Still going, but now out of mangoes and out of mana. Should go. Does have another decay in a moment. Will pop it onto DM, but eventually the bash comes out. Gonna be more than enough damage against the Undying. So nice little pick up here for the Spirit Breaker. Able to walk away with his head held up high. Bottom lane, Doom has been committed. They've got the Bloodseeker with this. Antares moving in but does not have disruption. Will try to just abuse the Shadow Poisons, but in comes DM to try and help out. Even Tiger rotating now the Snapfire. The Doom's about to wear off to boot, so this could be very dangerous for 9 Pandas sticking around here as the Rupture is going to be committed onto Miero. He has nowhere to go, just completely body blocked up. He's trying to be a Giga Chatter man up here, and he might be able to get away with it because Kiyotaka's shown up. Power shot from the side as well. Ramses reveals his presence. And somehow Miero is still not dead as BZM gonna move in again, but now the curse onto DM.
Oh god.
Locking down 3. Kiyotaka right on target. Tiger gonna drop. They do at least take down Antares, but BZM's out of mana. This is not what you want as OG. Shackle not gonna latch DM, trying to protect his mid-storm. But Kiyotaka is not giving up on the chase. Seb will show up now. Power shot will get it done. BZM gonna drop thanks to the Splinter Blast, connecting on Seb. And Kiyotaka with a triple kill as another tip comes out. I don't want to say it, John, but that Splinter Blast would not have been possible without the tether. So Kiyotaka, he is really giving it to Seb.
Yeah, I mean, again, you can't fault Seb for just trying to get some regen through for his storm.
He has to.
He has to. But they abuse it on the side of 9 Pandas, and all of a sudden, a 3-8 start. 9 Pandas kicking off with all of that aggression that we know this team loves to do when they can find it. 4K lead up for them as well. Every single core feeling decently farmed up with a nice lead over the side of OG. And again, we can take a look at that replay. A very prolonged chase. Kiyotaka showing up along with Ramses, seeing that opportunity, and this huge curse early on.
Massive.
We talked about the benefits of a Winter Wyvern here. This is exactly what OG will want to be doing. They want to clump up and fight, and the Winter Wyvern just stops that in its tracks.
You see BZM going down at that last moment as triple kill for Kiyotaka. 3-8 now is the scoreline. 4K advantage for 9 Pandas, sitting very pretty at the moment. DM being chased down top lane, but it is just by solo. So no chance of holding down the SB. Which you're going to need some time to try and recover after this bad laning stage. And this looks like it's going to be setting up for a very strong core Winter Wyvern game here, John. I'll tell you, as Kiyotaka's finding so much farm. Highest net worth on the board at the moment. We'll go for a chase onto BZM. BZM has plenty of mana to zip away. He's just waiting it out, and eventually we'll hold on to his mana. Kiyotaka, in the meantime, though, is going to be able to secure the power rune down at the bottom rune spot, so a nice double damage bottled up for him. And they can even think about the mid-tier 1 now. The curse is up, double damage available for Kiyotaka. He could wait to have the full Rod of Atos up, and it is not too far off. But with the siege creep available in the mid lane right now, I wouldn't quite blame 9 Pandas for trying to go for the push.
Yeah, no need to back off. Just apply that pressure, force a response out from the side of OG. OG haven't been able to set up their own place. They've just had to respond to the movement from 9 Pandas. They will start in the jungle with Uragi, at the least with the Javelin into the Maelstrom. Again, your Bloodseeker still having a fairly decent time in trying to ramp up here. They're not even going to bother fully committing for the mid. Kiyotaka just hanging back.
Lane, they will spot him out. Miero immediately pops the Scorched Earth, wanting to go for the chase, but decides better of it. Solo was also wrapping around, having a look for the Snapfire, but Tiger's going to go through the Twin Gates, and he'll be running into Ramses now. Ramses going to show up here against the Snap, but Ramses going to go through the Twin Gates as Tiger looking for a cookie to stop this from happening, but does not get away with it in time. Ramses moves down bottom. Tier 1 tower is to be secured here by 9 Pandas. Sadly, OG are unable to respond for now. They are slowly approaching with a creep wave top lane as Kiyotaka. In the meantime, Radiant Jungle is being attacked right now by BZM and Uragi. The silence is lasting long enough, so he will go down. That's a huge pick here for OG.
They find a punishment. They lose 2 tier 1s though. I think you trade a map control for that kill every single time. Unfortunate that it's a pretty big streak on Kiyotaka, so the gold is worthwhile, but again, you're starting to take over 9 Pandas. You've got control down bot. You can just keep farming up. You can keep playing with Miero. Try to get this Doom off running quite fast with the build-up into the hand of Midas and the pipe. And again, just shut down OG from trying to get their farm patterns up. Uragi still has a triangle to fall back to. With a Maelstrom, the Bloodseeker still fairly comfy in soaking up here. But you've got the Atos up, fully up and running for Kiyotaka, as you mentioned. The Universal Hero type Mike, lots of base damage to play with some hold. He can run you down with the Arctic Burn, no problem here.
Going to be too much of an issue for Kiyotaka. Top tier 1 tower going to go down. DM will be able to secure that, but there is a smoke running towards that northwestern side of the map. Up toward the top lane, DM is still sticking around for the large camp, so Kiyotaka will be able to set up with the Rod of Atos he has picked up. DM still could think about charging away, but Disruption is available from Antares, and DM basically doing the running man there in the top lane. Just the Purge slowing him down way too much. Yeah. Kiyotaka picking up his 5th kill of the game now on the Winter Wyvern, just proving this core Wyvern can be so potent.
And the matchup worked for him. He crushed this lane up against BZM. Now they're going to go for another push.
Nagi. This is a nice one. Plus 1 Bloodseeker, the curse will be there, just locking down the blood, but it's lasting quite a bit of time as Seb gets them out. Relocate is there. Kiyotaka going to get the tip now from Seb.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I'm sure Seb will be having some very fun times with the tipping game if 9 Pandas do drop the ball.
Yeah, for sure. You know, he's the kind of fellow who'll always tip back.
Radiant's courier.
Nice play to save. Seb will sacrifice, but yeah, this is the IO life. Or will
Will he
he?
though, John? Will he? He'll tether away. Miero is going to go for the chase. They have the vision
Radiant's
from the
top tower
zombies, but
is under attack.
no point trying to dive the tier 2 tower as now DM's rotated on the Spirit Breaker. Tiger's there as well. No curse to play with, so 9 Pandas might need to be a little bit cautious as Miero is going to get ruptured up. Kisses are to fly out. Solo's proving to be a very, very tanky boy though. He'll survive through all of this for now, just decaying even more. Here comes BZM. Disruption is there onto the Shadow Demon. Antares trying to survive as long as possible as now they've got the Bloodseeker doomed up. Antares, he might drop, but the problem is Uragi's in such big trouble. He'll be able to run away with the first movement speed. It's now 9 Pandas continuing to go, have found the storm. BZM, no mana to speak of, but Seb is keeping everyone alive. BZM able to get away just again as DM moving back in. OG just dragging out the team fight for such a long time. And it's working out in their favor. It'll last long enough, at least for now, but 9 Pandas, they'll look to move back in onto DM now. DM eventually will drop Kiyotaka. He'll get a double kill on the Wyvern. Ramsey's looking for more. In comes BZM on the Storm. But he's really got no easy target to go after. He'll have to leave them be. So it ends up being a 2-for-2 trade. But I think for OG, considering the state of the game for them, they'll be happy with that kind of trade.
I'll be more than happy. It's a lot of time committed here from 9 Pandas to just literally hang around in that area, not even find the tier 1 top yet. Just playing between the tier 1, tier 2. Lots committed out from the side of 9 Pandas. Then again, for OG, you're also not farming up, but they are starting to get that aggressive play. They know they can afford to clump up when that curse is committed early.
Well, there's going to be the Vortex into the Nether Strike setup here from DM. Disruption will buy him a tiny bit of time, but not quite enough, I don't think, as Antares is gone. But now, with the time he bought, they will go onto the Storm with Kiyotaka rotating, but Seb immediately just going to relocate the Storm out. Does not want BZM in trouble. You still have Tiger there to tether to as well. The 9 Pandas going to try their best, I think, to stop this. Miero ready with the wall stop. Even the curse committed from Kiyotaka. But Seb, I mean, Rod of Atos now to lock him down. And Ramsey's with the power shot will get the job done.
Yeah. Just find the punishment this time around. At least, you know, get something for your trouble here. 9 Pandas still playing really aggressive on the map. They're just all across the river. They're not even playing on their side of the map. They're just ensuring that OG has no comfy time trying to get this build up for the rest of their cores. Uragi is still finding room down south, though.
Look at that win probability, John. 90% almost for 9 Pandas. That's pretty insane. 16.5 minutes in.
It's pretty wild, but, you know, you've got this overwhelming start from 9 Pandas. And for OG, I mean, you know, we talked about the global ganking potential, the ability to relocate plus charge into these fights. They're not giving the opportunities to do that. They don't have the farm they need for BZM to just feel comfy taking these engagements. And sure, you're getting space out for Uragi, but everyone else is just kind of suffering. And DM as well, you know, not able to find anything with early charges here. The momentum from OG is just held off so much that they're going to need to try and just out-farm, be out-efficiency the way of 9 Pandas. You know, just work the map a lot better, but the map has shrunk for the side of OG quite severely. As the side of 9 Pandas will start onto Roshan with just Ramses in the Maelstrom. Windrager does do enough damage to get the stun.
I mean, you've got the Tombstone to tank here for Ramses, and even so, they're going to kind of amp the damage up a little bit here with the Flesh Golem. There is one hero rotating. It's just going to be Miero, just in case they need the help, but I don't think Ramses needs anything. Aegis will go the Wind Ranger's way. OG, no idea this is happening, and even if they did, they understand they can't really contest, and in fact, Aegis is going to go the way of Kiyotaka. He just comes in, takes it for himself, and immediate TP down towards the bottom lane. They know OG's farming around this area somewhere. OG backing off at the right time. 9 Pandas, they might go for a cheeky chase, because Kiyotaka now has the Orchid up. With the curse to set up, it's almost a guaranteed kill no matter who you curse here with the Orchid.
Dire's bottom tower
Sadly for 9 Pandas, they are not going to be able to find themselves a victim.
Not going to be able to immediately get something off the back of the Aegis, but... Well, Ramses finds something.
Yeah, Ramsey's just soloing the Snapfire as Ramsey's. Gonna watch out for that rupture here from Uragi, but he is out of range and out of vision. There's no kind of punishment here from OG. It's now 9 Pandas smoking up as 3, rotating into the top lane, hoping somebody walks into that Radiant triangle. They'll see BZM in the mid lane, and Miero being very patient with the Doom. Looking for the right entrance as BZM. Got to be so cautious here for the curse. There's your Orchid out. They've locked down the Storm. He's got no gameplay apart from hoping for Seb to save him, but Seb is nowhere nearby. And BZM getting tipped here by Miero, as he will go down without the Doom even being committed.
All they need is the Orchid. Really quick timings coming out from Kiyotaka. Again, this Winter Wyvern popping off is just... It doesn't feel like he can handle it on OG. Ramses is just free to do what he wants as well. You mentioned the Rupture being a threat. I mean, he has the Lincoln's up. Doesn't even care for that unless he managed to pop it with, say, the charge from across the map. So a lot of options there. Still, DM finding some space for himself.
There's your Doom out. You speak of DM. Miero looking to try and catch out the SB, though he is kind of just outrunning him here, and well, the Doom's going to be wasted in the end. In fact, Uragi's going to show up down to the bot lane as well on the Bloodseeker. Kiyotaka is by himself. This could be massive for OG.
Oh, really?
Instead, though, top lane is where the action's going to break out. Ramses being jumped by BZM. There's your Rupture onto the Wind Ranger. Ramses really doesn't want to die like this, but he is down. OG splitting up the side of 9 Pandas. Able to find a very strong team fight for themselves. And this is where you've got to be careful as 9 Pandas, right? Because you've got this TI legend in Seb. And he's going to be making these calls to split up these fights and make these pickoffs happen. And a couple more of those and 9 Pandas, you might find yourself in a very even game.
Yeah, just try not to play too greedy like that. Ramses was holding that top lane all by himself for quite a long time. Doesn't have the Aegis, can't afford to really play it too far forward. He managed to pop the Lincolns elsewhere, allowing the charge and allowing the Rupture to come through, and it's just a simple process to clear off that Wind Ranger at that point forward. 9 Pandas. Now, if Kiyotaka was sticking around together, if they were playing as a unit with a curse up, you could easily punish that clump up. And the Winter Wyvern shines up against what OG wants to do with his relocates and charges out.
Uragi almost getting spotted there by Ramses, but does TP in time.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
9 Pandas, still 7k ahead. All 3 cores at the top of the net worth board. Kind of like you just mentioned, like, you just don't want to split up right now as 9 Pandas. You've got strength in numbers. The Blink now coming out on Ramsey, so you've got a nice setup here with the Blink and the Wind Ranger, though. Top lane, Winter's Curse Kiyotaka, gonna find DM. Charges out from DM, but Miero is there to follow up with the Doom. Does secure the kill into the Spirit Breaker. Meanwhile, bottom lane, another fight breaking out. Solo is already down here on the Shadow Demon. In comes Ramses, though. Shackle onto Seb. Seb should drop and will do so. It's Ramses and Antares sticking around, trying to survive together. Uragi and BZM, they can't really threaten them too much. Like 9 Pandas are the ones looking to go back in.
Over here now.
Another successful engagement here for 9 Pandas.
They're trying to hit and run themselves. Finally split up from OG, punishing it with Kiyotaka and Ramses. And the big timing now for 9 Pandas is going to be this Ags timing on Kiyotaka. Not too far off with these kills that he's found for himself. And does manage to bottle up a nice shield rune as well to enable some offense here. Again, the Ags only about 2,000 gold away for Kiyotaka. With that constant Arctic burn, but he added move speed. Again, this Winter Wyvern is a massive threat. Still have Doom ready as well for the follow-up fight for 9 Pandas.
BZM, smoke broken. Miero realizes something's wrong. He jumps in blind. He found the Storm. No vision available. Miero just off the back of the smoke break. Makes the jump in, and now DM's in trouble. The Spirit Breaker going to be saved by Seb, but not for long. A 2-for-1 special here with the Curse. They will still aim down the DM SB, but he is gone. He'll buy back into the fight. Seb also going down. Does not have buyback available. Uragi in the meantime with the BKB trying to get as much damage off as he possibly can, but nobody is dying. He needs to retreat. DM, he might look to die back here on the Spirit Breaker. He'll try to charge away back into the side of 9 Pandas, but it's not enough. An immediate dieback here for the Spirit Breaker. 9 Pandas lose nothing. They won't stick around for the bottom lane of Barracks as the respawn timers are quite low for OG. But now a 14k net worth advantage for 9 Pandas.
Man.
Just clean gameplay.
That blind blink from Yarrow, instant war stomp out, no reaction out from BZM, and then the punishment is severe. They just collapse on top. They manage to get that fight. They don't manage to find objectives, which is one win for OG at the very least. A little bit of a silver lining, but so many resources expended just to try to find something to turn that around. And the buyback in the Spirit Breaker there is costly. It stalls out your Shadow Blade timing, means you can't charge freely, can't look for those opportunities. And that's going to delay DM by quite a fair bit. 9 Pandas inching closer towards these timings. Kiyotaka 300 gold away from full axe. I mean, if you can't handle him now, you surely can't handle the Winter Wyvern with the axe upgraded to Arctic Burn. Like, this hero is just going to be a nightmare to reach into. Who do you really focus down on? You can easily try to charge a Winter Wyvern, but...
Top lane, Tiger being caught by Ramses. Easy shackle here for the Wind Ranger, and another nice kill here for Ramses as BZM is going to try and zip forward. It is just going to be a warning shot though from BZM as now DM, maybe getting baited by his side, does get caught by the Purge of Antares. DM going down again.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
9 Pandas, that'll allow them to take the top tier 2 tower, no problem.
No issues with the push coming out there. Nice little clear, good catch onto 2 heroes. And at the least, they can try to zip in and out here for BZM to clear out the creep wave, stall out. Only one outer tower left for OG, and we just haven't seen any of these connections. Kiyotaka. Oh
Charges
boy.
there, or rather the curse is there immediately out onto Yuragi. Shackle to follow up from Ramsey, signing a perfect angle. Seb's gonna get tipped mid-curse. It's Kiyotaka, he has been so good on this Winter Wyvern. 8-1-9 is the KDA. Giving them no chance as BZM now trying for Solo at the top lane. Solo even proving to be quite tanky on the Undying, but does go down.
Yeah.
Antares. It seems like Solo's not too happy with him right now. Maybe just being left alone here by the SD, but nevertheless, 9 Pandas I'm sure aren't too upset. Tiger. Show himself. Rod of Atos lock him down into the Orchid of Kiyotaka. And with the axe up, well, Tiger's actually going to be able to survive just for a little bit with the Shadow Amulet. That was placed there by DM, and Tiger actually makes it out. Cute little play there by DM.
You get to run away, but Antares.
Just going to jump in. DM will use the same kind of trick, but they know exactly where he is. DM's got nowhere to go. Charge out. DM still going to try and find a way to run out. Meanwhile, Seb does go down to the bottom lane, and DM is still going to drop up top. As even the Storm not having a good time. BZM barely surviving for now thanks to Tiger. The Tiger gives his own life away to save the Storm's life. It's another perfect shackle from Ramses. 9 Pandas are looking to go high ground. BZM going to try his best to slow them down, but it's looking tough. They do have Curse up again for Kiyotaka. So he could just commit that on the Storm to try and pick off the solo Storm Spirit here, just zipping in. He is looking for it. One zip away from BZM. Going to ensure he does not have that opportunity.
Radiant's middle tower.
He's doing a great job of just stalling. Only one creep wave to come in. BZM has room to clear out this following creep wave. So not going to be able to get too much done here on the high ground. And OG stalling out as best as they can. 9 Pandas though still in an advantageous position. Nothing worrying them too much. Ramses massively ahead. Full Gleipnir up. A lot of hold to play with. A lot of damage. Level 20 is already up and running as well. And they'll just go for the last outer tower. They might get a catch here.
They do. Tiger is down once again. Kiyotaka just not giving them any breaks. The tier 2 tower goes down. OG not out of this game yet, but it is looking rather tough as they only have a 1% chance according to Dota Plus. An immediate smoke from 9 Pandas to move up towards the north and try to find OG, but the only person left there is going to be Seb. Though Scan is right on target, so Seb can have a bit of difficulty getting out of this one, I think. We'll have a tether target in BZM, though BZM might be in danger because Ramses is hanging around on the Wind Ranger. Seb still trying to run, is out of vision, so they can't hold him down. BZM is still going to be able to zip out. Kiyotaka could not catch him.
They're wasting a lot of time, OG. From the side of 9 Pandas, they're not able to really do too much, but Roshan still up for the taking. It is up top. Roshan number 2 with the Aegis Cheese. They've still got the output to kind of get that done. We'll just get into it for 9 Pandas, understanding that OG can't really make their way down here anytime soon. Not going to take too long for the output Ramses has made for himself. The scan is there. I suppose BZM could try for a steal if he was feeling confident, but that's a tall order considering how fast this falls.
That'll be the Aegis going to Ramses this time around. Kiyotaka just made me feel like he doesn't need it. Won't even be around for that. Ramses having a hunt down the bot lane. Meanwhile, Miero going to jump in to the ancient camps, but 7BZM going to be okay to back off.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Meanwhile, mid lane, Kiyotaka, he has found Tiger. The T2 tower does drop. Tiger's life will be gone. BZM still going to come in with the relocate, but the buyback is there. Kiyotaka is being targeted. The Doom now committed after the curse onto the Storm, leaves no play left for BZM. Seb unable to get him out as well. So 2 down here for OG. Maybe even a third as Urangi has been purged by Antares. He's not going to be able to outrun 9 Pandas who are just smothering OG in the Radiant base. They are just diving them. Kiyotaka on a triple kill onto the T3 top tower. And well, OG, they do have buybacks, but you start to ask yourself whether it's worth calling it. And they do. BZM's had enough.
It can't fault them. You know, 9 Pandas play this aggression start to finish. All their lanes feel pretty damn solid coming out of this one. And for the side of OG, you know, we expected a lot more coming out of those lanes. We expected them to start playing around with this global strat that could have kicked in, relocates with charges.